Just wanted to say in the beginning of this video, you're probably wondering why I'm playing a Star Wars game and actually having gameplay of a Star Wars game, and it's because YouTube has this weird thing right now where if I show gameplay footage of some violent games, I could actually be demonetized, which is not fun. Hopefully YouTube fixes that and reverts back to maybe making the rules a little bit more lenient. But yeah, we're going to be having some family-friendly gameplay for this video. Imagine being as popular as someone like Logan Paul. Imagine also having an NFT project, or as he liked to call it, a game, and using your large following and fan base got a bunch of investors, a bunch of people to actually buy your coins for this NFT project. And then also imagine hiring some very unloyal, just people that you cannot rely on, unreliable criminals, and then not taking the blame for it when your NFT project inevitably fails and a lot of your followers lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. What's going on, everybody? Cryptix. I know it's been a minute, exactly 53 days since my last upload, but I really just want to get back in the saddle. I want to continue to be a little bit more reliable myself in uploading a little bit more often. There's been a bunch of things that have happened since the last time we talked. I think we talked about Elon Musk essentially buying Twitter about 2 months ago. And again, a lot has happened, right? You got, I think, Andrew Tate, he got arrested. My opinion on that is innocent until proven guilty. I'm not going to say I'm a fan or not a fan of him, but there's a lot of news articles out there basically, saying this, that, and the other thing for clicks without actually not having legitimate evidence. So there's that. You also have, this other very popular Twitch streamer, Kai. I don't know how to say his last name. It's either Sinat or Kinat. He's in some type of crazy allegation with a TikTok star. I may cover that in a video, but getting back to the topic, guys, if you want, this video to get some traction, drop a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Now let's just get into it. So Logan Paul, made a response video to coffeezilla. As a matter of fact, Logan Paul has actually responded twice to coffeezilla's documentary series of Logan Paul's, I think it's called like Zoocoin, and essentially what that was a coin, or is a coin. I don't know if the project is completely deleted off of the blockchain or the coin is deleted off the blockchain. From the time that I'm uploading, it doesn't seem like that's the case, but that may change as time and the story develops. But essentially what you need to know is that coffeezilla exposed Logan Paul for his Zoocoin NFT project. And basically what this was Logan Paul promoting this project where people purchased Zoocoins in order to either get a JPEG of an animal or an egg. And I believe the egg was going to hatch, so you actually have a randomized animal, aka kind of like a loot box system with microtransactions in video games. You don't know what you're getting with the coins that you purchased internally, but you get a random, JPEG essentially. And what this JPEG is an animal that actually exists, to my knowledge. Now what you can do is actually, mate, I guess, with your JPEG on another person that also has a JPEG of an animal. So you could have like a horse and another person could have like a bald eagle. And then what it would do would be to create like a Pegasus type of JPEG, essentially combining both animals. Now, Logan promoted this like a video game, like an actual game NFT project. And to put it in the most short story, Logan Paul hired people to develop this game, and the developers of this game were either liars, scumbags, or allegedly criminals in certain situations. Now, these people, Logan and I believe Eddie is his a friend that you always see on the Impulsive podcast. Both Logan and Eddie, to my knowledge, and from the reports, actually did not sell apparently any of their coin in this pump and dump scheme. But what they decided to do was create a Zoocoin 2.0 to kind of hedge on the engineers that were unreliable and seemed like they were about to pump and dump. And those engineers only had Zoocoin version 1. So it was kind of like scammers scamming scammers, that type of situation. But regardless, the engineers were still able to sell their coin and make a boatload of money. And Logan Paul is catching flack for the pump and dump scheme. Now, Logan responded to CoffeeZilla in 2 different situations. And again, like, I might not be getting every single detail like 100% on point. There's probably some other details that I've left out, but that is the story from what CoffeeZilla put out for those 3 YouTube videos. And he went into great detail. There was a lot of research done. And yeah, CoffeeZilla, even got a recording, which is kind of important for this video. He got a recording from Logan Paul's manager. And also on top of that, yeah, CoffeeZilla exposed this project for what it was. Now, Logan again responded to these allegations / responded to the YouTube videos that CoffeeZilla, made. And Logan Paul did 2 things, and it was trying to threaten CoffeeZilla based off of 2, I guess, ways that you could maybe argue this in court, but I'm going to basically shut that down within this video. I'm not no lawyer, but from what I've seen and read, it doesn't seem like Logan Paul has any grounds to actually go to court with CoffeeZilla on like defamation or the recording. So what does this mean? So, there's 2 ways Logan could have threatened CoffeeZilla, but it doesn't seem like he could do anything. So the first thing is defamation, essentially trying to defame Logan Paul and his character and, his whole influence, over the entire project and just his influence in general. Basically, defamation is, if you haven't heard that term, essentially it's trying to make a public figure look bad. And it's usually, and it doesn't even need to be a public figure. It could be, someone that works like a 9 to 5, but maybe gets fired because of defamation and, whatever that may consist of. But basically, Logan Paul was threatening to sue CoffeeZilla off of defamation, meaning that Logan Paul would be defamed based off of CoffeeZilla's videos. And then the other thing would be the recording, where CoffeeZilla posted a recording of Logan Paul's manager also threatening CoffeeZilla, in terms of, you got to be correct on what you're saying, CoffeeZilla, or you can go to court. That's essentially what Logan Paul's manager said. Does seem like a lot, but it's 2 primary things Logan Paul may have had some ground for, but then ultimately these 2 things can't be done. So the defamation thing, it would just be a matter of Logan Paul bullying CoffeeZilla in terms of, making him pay for lawyer fees and things like that. And it would just be an uphill battle for Logan Paul to actually get, defamation and like the actual court case to be solidified for defamation, because there's not legitimate evidence or legitimate phrasing, I guess, from CoffeeZilla flat out saying Logan Paul is a scammer. He always kind of worded his videos with like allegedly this, allegedly that, and it doesn't, when you say allegedly from a law perspective, at least in the United States, you can't necessarily be charged with defamation. And again, CoffeeZilla put out a ton of detail, so that charge really can't work. The only way Logan can quote unquote win in that situation is just bullying CoffeeZilla into submission by, CoffeeZilla paying for these lawyer fees and things like that, if that were to be the route Logan Paul went. The other things seemed to be pretty interesting, where Logan Paul said, "You recorded my manager without him knowing." So in the United States, from a federal perspective, it is one party that needs to know that you're recording, right? Not both parties. So if I recorded you from a federal standpoint, right, and you didn't know, then that's one party. But in different states, at the state level, it could also matter who's recording who and if both parties are aware / aren't aware. So in California, where Logan Paul's manager resided during the recording, CoffeeZilla was recording that, person, and the manager didn't know. However, CoffeeZilla, I believe, resides in Texas, where it's only one party. So California is both parties, Texas is one party. And because the recording occurred technically in both of those states, from what lawyers are saying, I'm not saying I'm a lawyer, I'm not saying, anything that I am essentially calling out here is proven fact. Like, I'm not saying that. But basically, from what I've heard from lawyers trying to break this down, is that if it's in two different states, it more than likely would go to the federal ruling of one party, meaning that CoffeeZilla could potentially be correct and not be charged for recording, again, Logan Paul's manager in the other state that he resided in, because CoffeeZilla was in Texas at the time, and that is one party being aware of that recording. So, with that being said, Logan Paul really doesn't have a lot of ground to stand on, and he did threaten CoffeeZilla from a legal perspective in both of his responses to the allegations of this project. And now it seems like, and I can't even show you clips because the videos are deleted. Logan Paul deleted both responses to these videos because, again, from what I've said, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of ground to stand on here. So, CoffeeZilla came out with a tweet, which I can actually show you because nothing was deleted there. And CoffeeZilla basically, came out with a tweet on January 6th saying, response video to Logan Paul drops today. But then he quote tweeted it, I believe not the same day. It was actually today, on January 7th. And CoffeeZilla quote tweeted it and said, Logan Paul called me. He said he's deleting the two responses and is dropping the lawsuit threats. I believe he's making a third response, which I will be delaying my video to include. Hopefully this time he takes accountability and refunds the victims of CryptoZoo. It wasn't, I guess, Zoocoin, but that's the coin, but the project is called CryptoZoo. And he says that's what matters. So, all in all, it seems like Logan Paul may actually make another response, but to be honest with you, he's taking a fat L here regardless, right? Because A, he knew that the project was going to fail at a certain point. He tried to scam the engineers who were also scamming him and stabbing him at the back at the same time. And he didn't alert any of his investors because he knew at the end of the day he wanted to make a profit. That's what the DMs from him and the engineers were essentially talking about. And he could have saved a lot of followers, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably in the millions if you were to, grand total it out. So it's pretty unfortunate that he didn't alert any of his investors at the time that all of that was going on. But not only that, man, this dude doesn't need the money. He could have, saved his own reputation by not, or by calling out, that this project may fail. So, sell if you can. But that also would be destroying his project at the same time. Pretty sticky situation, but again, he doesn't need the money. And on top of all of this, it's also a fat L to be, threatening a YouTuber that exposed you for this from a legal perspective when you had no ground to walk on. And now on top of that, you're taking another L because you deleted the responses because you knew you were wrong in the first place. So hopefully this time around in his third response, he will finally take accountability, as CoffeeZilla said. That's basically all we have right here. But yeah, Logan Paul is taking a fat L in this situation. I hope you all did enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, comment down below what you think about this situation, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Cryptix, definitely not going to be investing in CryptoZoo, and signing off.